Just put yourself on mute, Zor, if you don't mind. Okay, for now, yesterday we learned that we were ended off with a big bomb of Ramah. Ramah ended that even though till now we learned that it's not appropriate to annul or disavow the animal when the goy did not return it to you when he took it, that he was supposed to return for Shabbat, but he didn't, right? And then ended off Ramah, no, if the goy takes responsibility, it's okay. So now, no, so that's where we ended off yesterday. That's in the Shulchan Aruch. We are, by the way, today is the 13th of Mar Cheshvan, which is Friday, Thursday, the 5th day of the week of Parashat Shabbat Ve'era. So Vedat Hashem, we're continuing today in Siman Reish Mem Vav. We said yesterday, we read the Si'if Hey, Halacha Hey, and it was a lot, Baruch Hashem. But now we're going to go into Si'if Katan Kaf Bet, which is Si'if Katan 22 of Mishnah Berurah. So he says like this, B'tchila keshekano, right? So we said that when a goy and a Jew buy an animal, they must make a condition before buying it, right? The nimtza de la kinuya be'ima Israel klal b'yom HaShabbat. Like this. What was the whole problem? Because we don't want the Jew to have an animal that's working on Shabbat. So what's the emphasis here? Mishnah Berurah says the emphasis is that you never want to have a Jew have ownership of an animal that will work on Shabbat. Therefore, it works right away. It works out that way that when a Jew and a goy they decide to buy ox, they used to rent oxes for plowing. When they decided to buy it, so it really never happened that the ownership of the animal is fully Jews. That will be B'chilut Shabbat. That's it. It's not. Meaning, what's the problem? The other way around. The other way around. If I own the animal, that means I have full responsibility, prohibition of it working on Shabbat. But here, right away, already says Mishnah Berurah that when I buy with a goy, that animal is never in a category of be able to work on Shabbat, with a prohibition, because it's a prohibition for a Jew to have an animal working on Shabbat. Here, I have a part of it, but that part that I don't have in it, it could work on Shabbat. So therefore, right away, right off the bat is the most appropriate thing to do. ואז אחר כך מותרים אפילו לחלוק בשווה ואין בזה משום שכר שבת. Therefore says Mishnah Berurah that there's no problem now. Now since that in the condition that we make, Goy takes the whole Shabbat labor, I'll take the Sunday later or Monday. Therefore, it's okay because there is no responsibility of mine on Shabbat. כמו שכתוב, סימן רש מ"ה, as we already discussed, previous סימן 245 and over there. וגם דאז אפילו עם אחריות שניהם בשווה, כל ימות השבוע, even though that later on all the rest of the days are fully responsibility of both, בין בחול ובין בשבת מותר. So even though all the profits from the day of the week or the Shabbat profits are allowed to be split because of that condition that there is no my part in the animal working on Shabbat. Okay? Yom Tov, you wanted to say something? How are you feeling? That's good. Okay.
Could we say the same thing for holidays and all that?
No, okay, we already said holidays is not a problem.
Nope.
Holidays, Shabbat, I'm obligated to keep my animals locked in the barn.
Locked in. And if I'm a partner with the goy?
No, no. The Yom Tov, even if I am not a partner,
no problem.
The goy could take my animals and work with them on Yom Tov. Lo metzuvim, אנחנו not commanded to prevent our animal to work on Yom Tov, only on Shabbat.
Only on Shabbat.
Only on Shabbat.
Shabbat is the main.
Shabbat is not the main. So again, but it's still, we already pointed out that it would be inappropriate even on Yom Tov to have a goy come on Yom Tov to take your animal. Give it to me earlier. Right? It has to be done also be'avla. Even though it's mutar, still, we're like Yom Tov was always, Baruch Hashem is always saying that we should be choshesh, we should be considerate that the people will say that my animals are working. Because remember, my animals, they have a dog tag, and it says Rabbi Sofer's and McDaniels, right? Like we said yesterday, right? Rabbi Sofer's cows or a partnership, Rabbi Sofer and McDaniels, something like that, okay? So in that case, you should be meticulous that you should do it before Shabbat or before Yom Tov. So we said already, if on Yom Tov It happens to be that the goy took a whole month rental and he's returning to you on Friday before Shabbat, and you're making back with the Shabbat. On Yom Tov, you're not going to obligate him to do that. It's okay if he works on Yom Tov with your animals.
Yeah. I was just thinking in the new days, in these days right now, if I have a partner that, and we have like 10 stores.
No, but okay, that's a separate story. That was differently discussed. We said the same category. Before you open a store,
Yes.
before you you make a partnership.
Yeah.
That will, and again, there's also we discussed there has to be principle of a goy, not just a partnership by hearsay. There has to be a much principle input.
Principle meaning
Money.
Money-wise.
Money-wise.
Written down, everything specifically to
You could give a goy $1,000 and make him a partner with that $1,000. You give it to him as a gift, and then he joins you. There is ways to work around that. Okay. There's ways smart, right? But again, because the halacha accepts that as long as it's his, you give him as a gift, no problem. Okay. But again, ask your local rabbi before you do anything.
Yeah.
Bezat Hashem, and everything will work out.
Okay.
Chav Gimel. We are not here to detriment people. We're not here to hurt people. No. We're here to help out people.
Yeah.
Help out people. Yeah. All depends. One guy, Rabbi Buddha, told me. One guy says his son he owns tattoo parlor, and he wants to open on Shabbat. So Habibi, tattoo parlor, we're totally against tattoo. Most people he's tattooing Jews.
Not most, but it could happen.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and he wants to open on Shabbat also. Forget about the business is corrupt. You want me to help you out to open on Shabbat? Go find a different rabbi.
So,
go find a different rabbi.
So now you're not trying to help him.
For sure, because he's going against Torah completely. The Torah is totally against Torah. What is it? How you take a holy... By the way, some say, I tell you why. Tattooing, people take it so simple. They think tattoo is a fine. No, tattoo, the Gemara says, is Avodah Zarah b'chlal.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Huh?
No, that's a different story. That's Isur Doraita, not to cause harm to yourself.
That's harm to yourself.
Yeah, that's Chabura, because there's bleeding involved, and the whole thing could be there. But the problem is maybe even not so much bleeding, but still pain. But that's not allowed in the Torah.
Yeah, you put a picture of whatever.
Right. That's right. That's the Avodah Zarah. The element is that you're saying that there is something so important you put on your name, on your body also. That the Gemara goes into.
So you pushed him away. Said, "Go deal with it now."
Not me, the Rabbi Button. He just told me this. I'm not so big that people come to me with such a big question.
So Rabbi Button just told him, "Listen, I'm sorry."
Because it's tattoo business, yeah.
Go find somebody else.
Well, again, you could. Again, there is a way.
But what happened if he has a partner who's a goy?
But not tattoo business.
No matter what.
Yeah, but not. I would not endorse it also. It's like endorsing it. Like the guy, you give him permission to open Shabbat. Even he has a goy, let's say, doing all the tattoos. I don't know. Anything. It has to be kosher. It has to be kosher. The business has to be kosher. Yeah. You can't come to me and say, listen, I have a, Saturday night fever, a Friday night fever I have a club rabbi. Let me own it with a goy. Of course not. Which rabbi is going to give him permission to open a zen, give him a outline how to do it kosher way? The first answer is right away. The door is open, Tzaddik. I don't need your donations. I don't need nothing. That's what you're. What does that mean to give you right there? We're here to help you people. But there's limits. There has to be limits. You can't go against Hashem. What is a club? What do you think they do in a club, Habibi?
No, I understand that. But,
okay, let's go back now. Chav Gimel.
Rabbi, what about plastic surgery on the face, let's say?
Well, it's amazing. It's the most beautiful business in the world.
That's a great question. He's right.
But again, plastic surgery,
he's 100% right.
Not in plastic surgery. He's talking about implants.
Whatever, plastic surgery.
It's the most beautiful thing. No, he's talking about privates. Plastic surgeons, they change privates. Not a problem.
I'm talking about the face.
Yeah. I want to do a nose job.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but
it's amazing. There's heterim for that.
But you're also amending what Hashem gave you.
It's very nice, but Hashem gave me, and I have to go through a suffering. Now the suffering is like this. I asked reference to marriages. I went once to Rabbi Noah Isaac Kolbam, a big posek in Queens. And I see there's, people who are divorcing, and Baruch Hashem, in order to be a good Shalom Bayit rabbi, you have to know where to tell them it's the end. You have to know. Baruch Hashem. I'm not going to brag, but I do Shalom Bayit. Baruch Hashem. After me, people do almost divorce and get 5 more kids, each one of them, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so now, So I asked him, Rabbi, so when can I give a heter to divorce? When, as a rabbi, people are going to ask me, when is the,
When enough is enough.
yeah. So the rabbi answered me, when you can't handle it anymore. That's the answer. When is a man allowed to divorce his wife? He can't handle it anymore. What do you want to do? It's mitzvah. It's a mitzvah to get divorced. We're not Christians. It's a mitzvah to get a divorce. Well, a guy should die? And people die. Some people die. They're not going to divorce.
They hang themselves. They kill themselves.
Yeah, who needs it? You can't handle it. Good. Ad kan odea. So what is that? Every suffering, Hashem created this guy with a crooked nose. Right? That's suffering. What does that mean? I agreed in Shamayim, you're going to make me a crooked nose, and that crooked nose, people make fun of me, and the whole world is there, my eye is upside down, my one cheek is bigger than the next cheek, right? Very nice. So why do I do any surgery? Hashem wants you like this. No. Why are we doing surgery when you break a hand? Can't handle it, can't tolerate it. Right? But maybe say, Hashem, you broke my leg, that's your problem. Why should I fix it?
He meant plastic
same
surgery.
Thing. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Hashem gave him a birth with a crooked nose.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as an accident.
Yeah.
There, the pain is so intolerable, right away he fixes it. This, a person is tolerating. He's 45 years old, he can't get married.
You went to the extreme, you.
Habibi, why should I wait till 45? The guy is 20, he wants to go surgery.
You went to the extreme.
Go 1 second. Okay. He tolerated till 45.
Yeah.
He could tolerate 45. Now he wants to get married. Habibi, do a surgery.
Yeah.
He does a surgery, all of a sudden 46, 47, he's getting married.
Okay.
Who is Chacham? There is Ben Adam yesh lo dat, v'yesh cho dat v'chokhmah. What is dat v'chokhmah? Dat is knowledge, chokhmah is wisdom. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? You say it like this. The saying is, a smart person, he learns from his mistakes. A wise person learns from other people's mistakes. So a 20-year-old kid comes to me and says, Rabbi, I want to have a surgery on my nose. I don't want to be like that. The 45-year-old got married. At 45, he did a surgery. I want to get married earlier. So he's a wise person. He's a wise guy. Why should he learn from the other guy's mistake? I mean, he's learning from the other guy. He doesn't want to live like the other guy. Rahman al-Islam. Hashem gave him a nose, crooked nose. Fix it. If that's what you believe, so he can handle it. He can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, he cannot
so
handle it.
This guy had nerves for 45 years. This guy has nerves for 15 years. So what, should we blame anybody?
No.
You go to a Rav. No. The Rav will address the situation. Not every surgery is allowed right away just because I said on the video, Rabbi Sofer says, so it's allowed motara. Anything that you do intrusive, invasive into your body, before even drawing blood. You go to a doctor today. He said, I hear, where are you going? I'm going to draw blood. You're not healthy? Should I pray for you? Rabbi, I'm perfectly fine. But the doctor said 45, I have to draw blood.
Blood test.
Tell the doctor to go to a mental home. What does that mean? 45, you have to go draw blood because he told you so.
A blood test, no?
Habibi, to draw blood? Chas v'shalom.
Draw blood means blood test?
Yeah.
You don't do blood test.
You don't do blood. For what you need a blood test?
To see if my blood...
To see if, who are you to give, who gave you permission to make a hole in your body? To see if, what causes it? The doctor said so. Who cares?
If I feel weak...
now we're talking a different story.
Yeah, I'm not talking...
No, I'm talking about, in America, it's a promoted thing. Every boy, every man after 40 must do colonoscopy. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Must do colonoscopy.
Must.
Do you know what colonoscopy is?
15, now they brought
Do you know what colonoscopy is?
It's supposed to be very, very bad for you.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah, I know what that is.
They put a needle into the body, here. They put you to sleep.
Yeah.
They have to go anesthesia.
When they put you to sleep now with gas. They did
Whatever. They put a person to sleep.
Yeah.
What does the person sign before they do that?
That if anything happens...
If he doesn't wake up, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
So it's already, they're telling you up front, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Then what do? They go with a camera inside.
Yes. Camera.
Sometimes from the front, sometimes from the back.
From the back, yeah.
What do you think happens with the camera? You know how much membrane tissue they kill?
They tear
tear apart so much.
Yeah.
And now all this is why? Because FDA decided it's a good thing for 40-year-olds and up every year to go through this. Yeah. Any procedure, small or big, if it's invasive, you ask a Rav. Every time. Every time. Because you don't know. Maybe Hashem doesn't want you to go now to this. Maybe that's going to cause problems. Everything. Yeah. Anyway, so a plastic surgery, answer the question. It's okay. For Shabbat, we will find an excuse to open up a plastic surgery business. Because, you know what? Zohar, are you there?
Yeah.
Zohar, why would you think plastic surgery compared to a club? What happened?
Because we spoke to
I thought you were talking about implanting.
It just crossed my mind. You were talking about.
No, but I thought you were talking implanting, the front part for the ladies. They implant the private parts and all those things. It's fine, okay, because that's not the main reason of plastic surgery. It's the most money in the plastic surgery, but it's not the main reason. Plastic surgeons are very good and they help people. And Baruch Hashem, I know family relatives who went through plastic surgery. They didn't ask me. But whatever, they went to Rabbanim and they got a heter to fix their noses, and Baruch Hashem, they get married. Very happy. Baruch Hashem. Let's continue. Okay, it says that ואז אחר כך מותרין אפילו לחלוק. Okay. בשבת כמו שכתוב, שימו as we learned. Okay. כ"ג ואם לא התנו מתחילה. We said, what happens in a situation where they did not make a condition? They didn't make a condition that the animal was bought. So basically, what happened was they bought the animal together. Let's do a scenario. They went, and this guy was not religious. The guy calls him up, a goy calls him up. You know what, Mr. X, Y, and Z? This is a good business. In this town, everybody rents ox. I want to buy 1,000 ox. You want to be my partner? We're going to buy 1,000 ox, and always we're going to do fields and plowing. There's going to be a lot of money into it. And the best thing, ox, you don't have to buy for it hay. Most times, they feed on the grass, especially here in Florida. The best place to pasteurize. The grass is always growing. Yeah. I wish I had an ox in my property over there. The grass is growing like crazy. Every 2 weeks I have to pay $60, right? So get some ox over there. Finish all the grass. I finished. You'll be fine. Okay. So he bought the ox. A year later, or whatever, his father he went to the next world. The boy wants to do tshuva now. He's doing tshuva, but he has animals in partnership with the goy doing Halachot Shabbat. What do you do?
There was no agreement.
No agreement prior to purchase. Because remember now, there's full responsibility of a Jew on this animal.
Yeah.
And the animal is going to be working that I'm fully responsible for. For Shabbat. There, remember, we took away my responsibility. We made an exchange. Over there, we said to the goy, you do Shabbat, I do Monday. So that means I take responsibility, your responsibility for Monday, and you take my responsibility for Shabbat. So I don't have any responsibility on Shabbat there. But here I do have, because we didn't make a condition. אלא לאחר שנשתתפו, אמר לו, תול אתה בשבת, ואני כנגדך בחול. It's even the worst thing we said the other day. You learn if a Jew tells a goy, you take on Shabbat. Now the Jew took tshuva. Baruch Hashem, chazar b'tshuva. He wants to keep Shabbat now. Very nice. It's an amazing thing to do. But now, I don't understand. He tells a goy, oh, by the way, you take my responsibility on Shabbat. What did he do just now? He broke the Avirah. You cannot tell a goy to do anything for your Shabbat. It's the worst thing that he could have done to himself. So what do you do? נאמר שאין איסור בזה, מחמת שביתת בהמתו, כיוון שיש לנו יהודי חלק בה. So you might think, wait a minute, maybe there is no prohibition in that. When I tell a goy, you do the labor on Shabbat with the animal. What's the prohibition in that? Because in reality, the goy owns partially the animal. Partially. So therefore I might think there's not a problem. He could do melacha on his own anytime he wants on Shabbat. His animal also. Still it's going to be prohibited. דהה בכל זה הוא נוטל יום אחד כנגד יום השבת והמסחר השבת של מאב לעם. No. What happens is, let's say that the guy does tshuva and he says to the goy, you do Shabbat work, because anyway he does the work Shabbat. So you can't have that claim where I told the Jew to the goy to work on Shabbat. Can't have that claim fully because he's partial the owner. True. But because you're coming and you're taking for Monday the responsibility, So it's gonna come out that there is profits of Shabbat because of that statement. Therefore, says the rabbi, lo idnuni in l'chila asur. Right away, the Shulchan Aruch says asur, no questions about it. That's not the way to do it. So how do you fix it? Let's see. Afal pi sheitnu achar kach. Even if they made a condition after that, after the ownership, commencement of the ownership, they took the partnership, now they make a condition, why it's not going to be good. Milashon ze mashma, from here we hear, the chol sheken de'im lo yidnu b'chlal asur. That from here we see that if there was no condition, remember what we said in 245? We said it's the best thing not to say anything. Right? You just say, listen, a Jew says, my father passed away, or my mother, or whatever, the relative, and he says, you know what? I promised him I'm not going to work on Shabbat. You're not telling him over there to run the business on Shabbat. The guy is running the business and he's only for himself. Okay? So that would be less of a problem because you didn't say, you take responsibility on Shabbat, I'll take responsibility on Monday. You just kept quiet. You just said to a guy, Baal Tshuva we're talking about. And we said, you know what? That could be enough of a reason to take a package deal at the end of the month for all the profits. Because technically speaking, you didn't author your words, you take my responsibility of Shabbat. He did it on his own, that's his problem. Good. But here it's worse. Yeah. Here, that this is a Baal Chaim, this is an animal, it's not just business running on its own, right? And it's an animal, so he says, it's going to be the Im Lo Yidna Klal de Asur, that if he didn't make any condition. So over here we're saying, according to Mishnah Berurah, he's learning that actually it would be better to make the condition. It would have been better here to make a condition, I'll work from now on Mondays. I'll take your responsibility on Mondays. No, but it will still be better. It will be still a little bit, it's less problem than the previous. But it's still a problem. It's a problem, but it's less of a problem. Okay. Than previously. Over there, we said not saying anything is better. Mm-hmm. Over here, saying something is worse even. Yeah. Don't say anything. ובבית יוסף מצדד לומר דאם אף לאחר שהשתתפו לא יתנה לומר תולתה אלא חולקין סתם שכר כל השבוע בשבת דשערי. However, so the Mishnah Berurah says, from the language of Shulchan Aruch, sounds like if there was no condition after the business commencements, the Jew did tshuva, that's worse. But that's not true in Beit Yosef. Beit Yosef still goes that it's, if you didn't say anything, it's better still here also. So how is he learning Shulchan Aruch? It's not better. It's actually worse. Because over there, it's still taking the salary, the income of Shabbat with a general package, with all the weeks, other days of the week. ואיסור דשביתת בהמתו סבירה לדאין כאן דהה דאינו יהודי עוסק בה בעל כורחו בשבת נעמת חלקו שיש לו. He says that it sounds like over here Shulchan Aruch is more machmir than in Beit Yosef, where he told us it's not such a big problem. But now he is telling us it's asur ligamre if you didn't make any conditions even. Why would that be? Because here you actually have the ownership of the item that's being worked with. In business, reality is, what is the business actually doing? Nothing. There is action. Let's say you close down the business. You close the door. You close the door, right? Business is not doing anything. You need a guy to come to open the business and to sell. In reality, there's nothing. Business itself is not doing anything, right?
Oh no, you need somebody. That's what
over here, there's an animal that's running around doing things for you.
So you need that animal.
That's right. It's worse than the business. It's worse than the business.
He is the business.
He is actually doing with his body actual work on Shabbat. Yeah. And you have the ownership in that. Yeah. That's why Shulchan Aruch over here said, in Beit Yosef, he was more mekir, said maybe it's allowed. But when he came to write down the Halachah L'Maaseh, remember, Beit Yosef is discussion, it elaborates. And over there, he elaborates. It sounded like he elaborated. It's okay, not such a bad deal. Here, he says it's the worst. Meaning, he got more clarity, and he says, wait a minute, this animal is the business. Animal is the actual doing the actual work. Not like your business where it's sitting and doing nothing, and a goy comes and does things. דבר דעשה בזה איסור את בתחילה כשנשתתף ושהיה לו לחוש שיעשה בבהמה מלאכה בשבת ואב אליה להתנות בתחילת תולתה. Since there was no, over here, that there was no in any scenario where the animal will come out of my possession. When I make a condition with the Shabbat with the goy before acquiring this animal, that condition is so solid and so valid that there is not even a shash, not even a speculation that it's somehow it belongs to me. Because I took responsibility on Monday, he took responsibility on Shabbos, so we bought it. But right now we didn't do that. Ayed Shabbat Yosef. Omnam Milshon HaShulchan Aruch. So it's some from the way that the Shulchan Aruch addresses this situation. Mashma de la ratzah lismoch al zeh lemaaseh. So when it came to push come to shove, Shulchan Aruch did not go with the way that he discussed in Beit Yosef. Even though it sounds like in Beit Yosef he was a little bit lenient, because what's the difference? This is a business, this is a business. But then he said, you know what, when it comes to labor and Shabbat, Isur Deoraita, Habibi, there's actual Maaseh. So that's Mishnah Berurah. Says Ish Mazliach, number 3. ואין להקל לדעת מרן אף בהפסד מרובה. And Shulchan Aruch is so machmir over here that even if you lose everything, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. Not allowed to have your animal that you didn't make proper conditions to work for you on Shabbat. Work even though it's partially owned by God.
So there's no way to make the condition.
There is a way.
Okay.
There is a way.
The way you said in your face is like...
No. If you just leave it alone, over there by business we said, leave it alone. There is a way. There's some mekilim that will say it's okay because you didn't direct anything. But here it doesn't matter you directed anything or not, because the isur on the chefetz, the animal is the isur.
Yeah.
It's like you working. Can you say, I'm a slave. Maybe slave is not so much, because slave they could kill you. Slave is allowed to break Shabbat because of his pikuch nefesh. Okay, but let's say if there was no pikuch nefesh, a slave, if he doesn't work on Shabbat, will sit in a dungeon for a day. Maybe he's going to be chayav to keep Shabbat. Maybe he's going to be obligated to keep Shabbat and not to break it. A slave, where it's pikuch nefesh, mamash, they're going to kill him, then you're allowed to work on Shabbat.
Then you're allowed.
Right, but because you're not allowed to kill yourself. But here, there's no pikuch nefesh. They put him in a dungeon for a day. So you didn't work on Shabbat, Sunday you sit in the jail or whatever. Okay. People survive though.
Yeah.
Unless Yom Tov is going to say to me, "Hey, Rabbi, you don't understand what dungeon? People go crazy, go mad, and they go die."
They survive.
Maybe, if that's the scenario that people in that community happen out, that's like dying, no? No, Yom Tov is not happy. Even in the dungeon, he should break Shabbat. What do you say? In the middle. Yom Tov, you agree with me, or you agree with my next statement? Even if they put him in a dungeon, he should break Shabbat. Why? On Shabbat, we break the elevator, people go crazy, they're stuck in the elevator. Somebody went in the elevator, you're allowed to call fire department.
Yeah.
It's called פיקוח נפש.
רגע, אבל האלוויתר של שבת יש בכל מקום.
יש או לא? לא משנה, יש, נשבר. לא פותח דלת עכשיו. אוקיי, anyway, so יום טוב, we agree with the second
תקוע
statement.
בפנים.
אוקיי, so maybe...
רגע, והוא תקוע בפנים.
כן.
מה זה מתקשר לכפתור כאילו, לזה?
כן.
מותר לחלל שבת, זה פיקוח נפש.
בטח, of course. Especially now he has to go to the bathroom, what are you going to do? אוקיי.
אפשר לקרוא עם ישראל...
ודע, לא, one second. ודע, אפילו לפי דת הבית יוסף הנזכר לעיל, דאין בזה משום שפיטת בהמתו, אין להתיר לה חלוק סתם אחר כך, אלא במקום הפסד גדול, לפי דת, no, Ramban says that we are allowing, if there's going to be a lot big loss, to allow... No, we're gonna end over here, because Markel is here, he's pushing. But Bezat Hashem, we're holding by Kav Hey.
תמשיך, אני רוצה.
Kav Hey, Bezat Hashem. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן. מי שצריך ללכת. Whoever needs to make פרנסה, לכו תנסו, בשעה טובה ובצלחת, without any difficulties, with a lot of joy and simcha.
Amen.